is Buddy Buchanan with the Leader in Times bringing you today's news. Tuesday, July 11th, 2017. In 2014, a FedEx jet landed and parked on the tarmac of the Mid-America Air Museum. The jet was to be utilized as an educational tool for science, technology, engineering, and math, also known as STEM. Despite the plane being declared perfectly usable by the Kansas State Fire Marshal, local fire officials recently found fault with the jet, and now the plane still sits unused at Mid-America Air Museum. At Monday's forum hosted by the Leader in Times, the Chamber of Commerce, and KSCB Radio, the 13 candidates for Liberal City Commission chimed in on what needs to be done to resolve the problem to allow the STEM project to move forward. Current USD 480 Board of Education member Travis Combs said the solution simply boils down to getting the job done. We can lay blame wherever it may be, but people have got to work together, he said. One thing I've noticed being on the school board is the boards in this town do not communicate at all. Like many of those who followed him, Combs said communication is the key. Combs said local fire officials need to follow directions of state leaders. Commission incumbent Dave Harrison disagreed with Combs' assessment. I put a lot of faith in our fire department, Harrison said. They're professional guys. They're charged with looking out for the people in the community and their children. They have stated what they think needs to be done. For some reason, that's not good enough. Harrison said whatever solution may be found will require more effort to get the project off the ground, but it is possible to be done. Candidate Connie Segrist said she has more questions than answers when it comes to the STEM jet. If any of us would have two boards on a fence, the city comes and wants us to get a building permit, she said. Why did the city not advise the STEM jet people about the permits that they needed? They knew they were working on this. Why didn't they come and do periodic inspections as it was being done so we wouldn't be in this quandary now about it not being done right? I think whatever needs to be done, it needs to be done, because we need the STEM jet. It's another wonderful attraction for our community. Taylor Hardin, who has worked with the Air Museum and Airport to construct a drone academy, was another pointing to communication as a solution. I think it's going to come down to a lot of relationship building to get to the right person to be able to sign on and be able to tell us what we need to do and what hoops we need to jump through, he said. I think to think about it right now, it's not technically a structure. It still has wings and wheels. Candidate Jimmy Holman too said talking is key to getting something accomplished with the STEM jet. Let's get together, he said. Give them exactly what we need to do, get it done, and let's move on. Let's get unified. That's the answer. We don't need a rocket scientist. Candidate Dale Harold said the jet could not only be used for students in USD 480, but for those in other schools in the area as well. It seems like the fire department or someone has dropped the ball and has not carried on the program, he said. We spent over $70,000 and yet nothing's been done. As a commissioner, we could research this a little bit more with the state fire marshal and get our local fire marshal in here. Do a little talking, do a little planning. The tech school drew up plans, but they weren't the plans that needed to be done. Let's do it again and see what we can do for the education of our kids. Justin Vard said all involved with the STEM project need to come together to find a solution to make the jet usable. We need to have a work session and decide what does side A, side B, side C need. Let's throw it all out on a whiteboard. Let's brainstorm. Let's investigate all the other jets that are in current operation. Let's just get it done. I think it's a great tool. I think that it would be a tremendous benefit for our community. The communication theme continued with candidate Rick Rose. I think what needs to happen is they need to sit down and discuss with the Air Museum or whoever's in charge of that what's required and not what their opinion is, he said. We have to learn to make some exceptions and figure out what it takes to get it moving. Chris Carlisle agreed with Holman, saying the community needs to get united and find a solution. It's not a money issue, he said. It's just that everybody needs to get along, the commissioners, the county, and get this thing going. All candidates in the race believe the jet is great for Liberal. Andy Storr added it is something that is needed in the community, but like others, he felt the ball was dropped when it was decided the jet was not usable. When the fire department says we cannot do anything else to this, let's put a stop to it. There is no communication with anyone to pick up the ball, take it, and go find out what we can do, what we need to get this program going, he said. We need communication between all the departments and the city commissioners. Like Harrison, former Liberal Mayor Ron Warren said he has a great deal of respect for the local fire department, and he believes it will take everyone working together to find a solution for the STEM jet. Let's communicate, let's figure it out, and get both sides together and solve the problem to make it work, he said. Incumbent Dean Aragon said he trusts the decision made by Liberal Fire Chief Kelly Kirk to put the STEM project on hold. I have all faith in the world in our fire chief, and if he says that there's an issue, he said. We've used the Air Museum for several different exhibits. We've had a lot of robotics. We've had kids from several different states go through there for different reasons, but it's been under a safe environment where the city's not liable. Gary Andrews, who had served previously on the city commission, said the situation should have been resolved when the jet was first brought to Liberal. The city commission should have gave some direction and leadership to the fire department to put this thing together, get with the foundation, do what needs to be done, make it happen, he said. We're the only ones in southwest Kansas that has something like this. It's a great thing to have. I think we've dropped the ball. This is Buddy Buchanan with the Leader in Times. God bless, and thanks for watching.